Hey everybody, I'm Zach.
And I'm Jesse.
You're watching Disruptive Investing. We're calling this one X Payments, although I have no idea what they're really going to call it. So I don't know how many of you listened to the X Spaces with Elon and Kathy Wood from ARK Invest. Happened about a week ago. But Elon told her that they have the permits now from over half the states to do X payments.
They are waiting for New York and California, but that's coming, says Elon. He thought that they had already filed, but they hadn't. So I don't know who got fired over that.
When X payments start, we're talking a huge disruption to MasterCard, Visa, Amex, Discover, PayPal, Venmo, etc. And Doge Designer says 2024 will be the year of X payments, and Elon said,
yes. Okay, so how big is just the credit card industry in the U.S.? We're talking just Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and Amex.
All right, so Americans spent $3.966 trillion in 2019. Let's just round that to 4 trillion, shall we? That's trillion with a T. So Visa is the largest of the bunch. It has over 336 million cards out there just in the US, followed by MasterCard with 231 million. Just those two companies have over 75% market share in the credit card industry. And if you're wondering how many of these cards have like the Citibank name on them, over 95 million. How many have the Chase name on them? 83 million.
Okay, so $4 trillion gets spent, but that doesn't mean that that's all money that the credit card companies get, because otherwise we would live in Visa land. How much of that trickles into MasterCard and Visa's pockets?
Well, Visa has a market cap of about 523 billion, and MasterCard has a market cap of 336 billion, not too shabby. In 2022 alone, Visa generated over $22 billion in revenue from over $200 billion in processed transactions. And you can see a chart here of how that's going up every year. And I mean, just look at Visa's stock price here, right? It's up over 371% over the past 10 years.
Okay, so how do credit card companies make their money?
Simple. They take a little piece of every transaction. So you go online, you buy some new shoes for $79 and you check out with your Visa card. The merchant you bought them from has to give anywhere from $1.20 to about $2 to Visa, depending on what their deal is. So you get the picture?
So does Visa have any expenses?
Sure. They have to run all the back end of moving that money from your account to the merchant and then handle collecting money from you every month. But oh, I forgot another revenue stream that Visa has. Credit card interest. You see, if you don't pay your Visa bill in full every month, you have to pay interest on that debt. And it ain't small change. As of August of 2023, the average credit card interest rate in the US was around 20.7%. So Visa gets you when you buy something, and then they get you when you buy something. Look at these interest rates, by the way.
Wow.
See them going up?
And look how much debt Americans have.
Almost $1 trillion.
Okay. And so this kind of explains when you go into a shop and they're like, oh, we don't take credit card because of high fees, or anything under $5, we don't take credit card. And then you're like, fine, I guess I'll get the cookie that you have next to the register. And you feel like it's a scam, but it's like, no, they're getting scammed by the credit card company because they're going to get charged like $1.20 for the $3 item that you just bought. Like I got my tires changed and they're like, all right, well, you can either pay $95 to get all your tires rotated, or you could pay $103 with a credit card. And I was like, I'll do cash.
Not to mention the fact that when you go on a site like Amazon, you're paying a huge percentage to Amazon just to be the marketplace. That's another whole piece we're not even talking about here, but X could become basically a marketplace.
Well, let's get back to X. When Elon gets X into X payments or X finance or whatever he ends up calling it, he's going to start cutting into the credit card company's pie.
And he doesn't have to take much of a piece before he turns on major revenue for himself. As we've just shown, the pie is really big. So this is the plan Elon had for X since he started PayPal back in 1999. He wanted to call it X.com even back then, and he wanted to get into digital banking. But when PayPal got sold to eBay in 2002, they got fat and happy with what PayPal already did, and they never really worked to improve it.
With X, you have a platform with 225 million active daily users. The average user spends over 21 minutes on X every day. Now imagine if you're surfing around X and you come across an ad for a pair of shoes. You click to find out more, you find the color and size you want, you check out with, wait for it, X. You stay within the app. X becomes one step closer to what Elon imagined it would become. the everything app.
Yeah, Elon is modeling X after how people in China use WeChat and Weibo. In WeChat, you can read and post social media posts, you can buy lunch at a restaurant, you have instant messaging, you have voice and video calls, and you have online payments.
So this is proven. Customers want to have an app to do lots of things. Elon bought Twitter to get the user base so he didn't have to start from scratch. And I just want to pause here for a moment and talk about TikTok, because I know that everyone wants to talk about TikTok. I know that you don't want to talk about TikTok. I don't want to talk about TikTok. But TikTok has a marketplace, and they have been pushing it very hard. And so there's all sorts of crappy products on TikTok. And what they're doing is it's extremely cheap, a lot of the stuff that's on there. And so they'll have a TikTok influencer being like, oh, get this thing with a camera that'll, you'll clean out your ears. And you're like, oh, that's interesting. Then you click on the little button that they have on the app, brings you to another part of TikTok, and you're ready to buy it.
Except, have you bought anything on it?
I did.
And what did you use to check out?
A credit card?
Yeah, you didn't use the TikTok card.
That's true.
So they are a marketplace.
They're getting into the Amazon game, right?
Which is fine. I mean, you get a big percentage for that.
And I think that it does help because I'm just gonna be honest. Sometimes I'm on like Instagram. Sometimes I'm on TikTok. Very rarely. But there are people in my life who are gonna send me TikTok stuff. And when you're on Instagram, there's no connection to the outside world through Instagram. You have to go to their bio, then you have to go to their website. Their website is going to be using Shopify. All of those stores kind of suck, right? Because then you have to they're like, do you want to create an account for this one store where you're going to buy one thing and never anything else ever again? And you're like, no, this sucks. I hate this. And then they're like, give us your email and we'll email you. And you're like, this sucks. I wish this was just on an app that I already had. I think that that's a bad model. And I think that a lot of people are going to jump ship as soon as there's something else. And I think that X could be that something else.
Yeah. Okay. But right about now, you're probably asking, why are you talking about X as a money platform? This is Disruptive Investing Channel. I can't invest in X. This isn't a stock ticker show. This isn't Jim Cramer on CNBC with buy. Being a disruptive investor means understanding disruption, what is about to be disrupted and who is doing the disruption, and the bigger waves that are going to ripple out from that disruption.
You may hold stock in financial companies like MasterCard and Visa in your portfolio. See what I mean? Maybe you should start thinking about that as 2024 unfolds and X begins to get into this market.
Now, disclaimer, we're not financial advisors. Don't take our advice as what you should invest in or what you shouldn't. Investing involves risk, and we're just two guys on the internet. But what if X also gets into online banking? What if X starts getting into auto loans, mortgages? I haven't even mentioned insurance, online dating, job hunting. You get the picture?
If you don't understand where Elon is going with X, then you're kind of like those investors out there who didn't understand what Elon was doing with electric vehicles, or energy, or robots, or rockets.
These are big topics. They aren't as easy to digest as simple stock recommendations. The world is about to see 1,000 years of innovation, probably before 2030. It's going to take all of our collective brain power to not only understand what is unfolding, but how we can invest and profit from what is happening. And what do I mean by our collective brain power? I mean joining us on our Now You Know Investor Club over on Patreon.
For $10 a month, you can join our investor club with hundreds of other smart investors who talk to each other on our exclusive Investor Club Slack about every imaginable disruptive topic.
Not only that, but we host live streams with founders and CEOs of companies that are doing very disruptive things, so you can hear directly from them and ask questions.
You also get our exclusive weekly Investor Club bonus videos made just for you.
So consider joining and supporting the work we do and upping your investor game by joining us on Patreon. The link is down below in the show notes. Try it out, see what you think.
We'll see you next week on Disruptive Investing.